In fact, according to Coldwell Banker, 38% of homeowners are concerned about the U.S. economy tanking and creating a situation where they are not able to sell or buy a home as planned. Joining us now is Ryan Gorman, President and CEO of Coldwell Banker. Mr. Gorman, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Well, thanks for having me, Tyler. Appreciate it.
In this survey, one of the things that leapt off the page to me is that 1 in 5 homeowners say they plan to sell their current home in the next 12 months. And it's even more likely among younger homeowners. 2 out of 5 between the ages of 18 and 34 say they want to sell. What's driving that desire to sell, and where are they going?
Well, the good news is the biggest drivers are organic. So I know there's a lot of concern about potential speculation out there, but that's really not what's happening in the market today. So the biggest drivers right now and behind that number are approximately 40% are upsizing. The most classic reason why people are looking to move. About 30% are seeing an increase in value in their home. So they're saying, well, maybe I want to monetize that value, perhaps move forward in my retirement plans. And then you still have about 30% that are saying, if I'm able to work remotely, at least part of the time, maybe all the time, then perhaps I want to live somewhere differently than where I live today, maybe even in somewhere a little more affordable. So while home prices are increasing, affordability is a relative term, and we're seeing some people take advantage of that.
So the big worry in the home market, the thing that Diana schools me on every single time she's on, is the dearth of inventory. If 20% of Americans are going to put their house on the market in the next year, what does that do to inventory? And then what does that imply for prices?
Well, I wish 20% of Americans would actually put their homes on the market this coming year, but 20% are contemplating it. There are several reasons why they may not. Some of it is fear of COVID, which is abating as vaccines come through. And some of it is a concern about having the inventory in their destination market. So we're seeing inventory build just a little bit now, but we're still well below where we need to be. With price increases, you're seeing folks realize their current home is worth more than they thought. That pulls inventory into the market. Consumer confidence seems relatively strong, could get stronger. The builders then put more inventory in the market. As that inventory builds, we start to get to an overall healthier place. And right now we've got about 20% that are contemplating it. It only requires about 1 or 2% of those to put it on the market to really take the edge out of the inventory disconnect we have today.
Yeah, so it's a small, I take your point. I think it's a very important one to note there, and that is the idea that contemplating doing something. Well, maybe I'll move to Florida, maybe I'll do,
yes.
And doing it are two different things, and there's some hesitance about that. The other thing that was very interesting to me in the survey was the idea that of those who are contemplating moving, I think it was 30-some-odd% say they plan to stay in the same general area, but 57% say they want to move to an entirely different part of the country, basically. That has to be the work from home influence, number one, and probably high taxes in some markets, number two.
Absolutely. I think the 3 main factors, you hit on 2 of the 3. So I think weather is a trend that we've seen in the country for a long time, folks looking for a little bit better weather markets. The tax flight, we're seeing following that weather flight. So we're seeing a little bit of that. But the remote work is the biggest overall shift that we've seen that may be somewhat permanent. So not necessarily that folks are going to be permanently working remotely, but they're going to have greater flexibility, which maybe allows them to make the decision to move forward in their plans, to perhaps move from New Jersey to North Carolina, or the reverse. We've seen that too, and go back maybe once a week out of, down to the city, or maybe 1 week out of a month back up to the former headquarters. That flexibility means they can move forward in their plans like never before. So we haven't tested exactly that metric before, but I'm willing to bet that's a record. The majority of people contemplating selling, being able to take real full advantage of this remote work.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.